Hey everyone, so in this section we're talking about online college degrees and whether or not they're worth it and something that you should actually consider for the future. Now, over the past 10 to 20 years, online degrees have become extremely popular among students located all over the world. In fact, students who cannot commit to a campus-based program, either on a full-time or part-time basis, have sought out degrees through distance and online education. However, many students have often wondered whether or not those programs are actually comparable to their on-campus counterparts. And this is really because in the early days of online education, a lot of people wondered whether or not an online degree would be viewed in the same way as an on-campus degree, particularly from employers. Now, this was particularly concerning because a lot of the institutions that were providing online education opportunities were actually for-profit institutions or just generally institutions that many people might not have been as familiar with. However, since this time, we've seen many world-renowned institutions actually also offer online education opportunities, and it's really changed the perception around online and distance education. However, with the rising costs of on-campus tuition, a lot of these online degree opportunities are providing students with the opportunity to gain a world-class education at a very affordable cost. Many students are looking at online education opportunities not only to fit their personal and professional needs, but also to obtain an education that they wouldn't necessarily be able to obtain because of the cost of attaining a four-year degree. Now, the online nature of the degrees can, in some cases, allow institutions to provide a world-class education at a reduced cost. This is because the institutions are able to save on some of the costs that would traditionally be associated with a four-year on-campus program. With that said, it's very important for students to actually view a degree program, whether it's online or on campus, as an investment in themselves, their skill set, and in their future. And so we would say that you should evaluate an online degree in the same way that you would evaluate an on-campus program, in that you should look at the potential return on investment that you should expect to make realistically based on the skills that you're looking to obtain through the degree program and what it is that you're looking at doing after your degree program. You should look at a variety of different starting salaries and be very conservative with your approaches to ensure that you're not extending past your needs. We also recommend that you have alternative plans in place as well. As you might know, it's not always the case that you're going to get the exact position that you're hoping to get when you graduate. You can actually forecast what the market conditions are going to be like and whether or not the specific skill set that you're going to obtain is going to be needed in the way that you thought it was going to be needed when you actually selected your degree program. It's also important to consider other factors that are beyond your control as well, so it's important for you to consider a variety of different options that you can pursue with a degree that you're looking at. Now, one of the benefits of an online degree specifically is the fact that in some cases, in addition to potentially saving some money on tuition, you might also be able to save on some other fees that would otherwise be associated with an on-campus program. Some examples of this might be the fact that you're not necessarily confined to the geography associated to the particular institution. And what we mean by this is that you're able to, in some cases, live in some cheaper areas of the country, or in some cases, cheaper countries in general, while you're pursuing an education that would cost substantially more if you were forced to live on campus. And this is particularly true for those of you who are international candidates who would be studying in very expensive countries, which wouldn't necessarily allow you to work at your full capacity while you're studying. Now, speaking of studying internationally, one of the benefits of studying at a university that might be providing online and distance education opportunities is the fact that this institution might be located in a specific area that you have the intention of living and working at in the future. The great benefit of this is the fact that you're able to build up a very strong alumni network with people who might be located in this area that might be able to provide some job opportunities for you in the future. But also, a lot of these institutions will have international support groups as well, so you do have support and resources that will help you further your studies. And it's really also important to consider the fact that online and distance education really does allow students to democratize their education in the sense that they're able to select the programs that are actually truly right for them. Perhaps you don't happen to live close to an institution that provides a particular program that's suited towards your needs, or you can attend a better ranked program through distance and online education because you have other commitments that are preventing you from relocating to attend that particular institution. Online and distance education will allow you to actually pursue some of these opportunities that traditionally otherwise wouldn't be available to you. Now, in terms of actually selecting a specific major or degree program, a lot of the same concepts are going to apply as what already applies to traditional degree programs. It's important for you to consider not only what your interests are, but what is going to allow you to pursue a meaningful education and a meaningful career in a particular field that you happen to be extremely passionate about and can actually make back a return on the education that you're going to be investing in. And so an online degree option might in some cases allow you to save some of the costs associated with pursuing advanced degrees. However, it is still important for you to consider the overall cost of the investment and whether or not it's something that is going to bring you a return in the future. To bring it back to the initial point we made in this segment, investing in your education is really an investment in your future, and it's important for you to view it that way. So as much as you might be passionate about something, it's really important for you to consider whether or not this passion is actually going to be able to translate into something that is marketable in the marketplace. A lot of people might look at a variety of different fields of study from engineering to liberal arts, and they're going to give you a variety of different skill sets. And this is something that's very important for you to actually consider when you're making your decision. And so an engineering degree might provide you with a very specific set of skills that you might be able to apply to a variety of different positions within the marketplace based on the specific field of engineering that you happen to be majoring in. Whereas a liberal arts-based education might provide you with a very altruistic education, and it'll be very important for you to extrapolate the specific skills that you're able to take from that degree and actually apply to the marketplace. And so these are obviously just two examples of fields that you could study amongst many that you might be interested in. The biggest takeaway from this is really to determine what skills you're going to be taking out of the degree and how you can make it marketable and profitable for you in the marketplace. It's very important for you to consider this as early as possible so that you're able to determine whether or not the degree is actually going to be something that is going to be beneficial for you in the future. I think it's also very important for you to consider what institutions you actually want to pursue these degrees at, and whether or not it's actually going to add any financial constraints for you in the future. While it is important to look at the rankings of the institutions you want to study at, I think it's also very important for you to also consider whether or not it's actually going to limit you in pursuing what it is you actually want to do when you graduate. And so I think it's very important for you to keep as many educational opportunities open to you as possible. I think it's important to consider a variety of different opportunities and to consider what is actually going to bring you the return on investment that you're looking for in the actual degree. I think it's also very important for you to do this research as early as possible so you have a very good understanding of what is available to you and what is actually going to bring you closer to your overall goal. So I hope this acted as a great starting point for you and some of your future research as well. I'd love to know your thoughts, comments, questions, and concerns in the comment section below. Are you an online student? Have you thought about pursuing studies online, or do you know anyone else who has? I'd love to hear your thoughts, comments, questions, and concerns below. As always, thank you so much again for listening. Please remember to like and subscribe if you appreciated this segment. And as always, we'll see you in the next one.